Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Slamfire Prime, and we're going to be talking about gun control and how to effectively enact it and the various stages and types of gun control that are potentially happening or what everybody thinks about one type of gun control to the other. So let's start off the conversation with the big one, the main one that everybody thinks about when they hear gun control. Just how that's going to work is step one. They're going to have to outlaw firearms completely. Step one, easy enough. They've been trying for years. Some states already have bits and pieces of it. They just need to be like, they're all gone. What that means is everything that is legally classified as a firearm, shotguns, handguns, ARs, almost, nothing falling over, good, and hunting rifles of various kinds. It's gone. Finito. Disappeared. Just like magic. And a lot of people's dads. They never came back with the cigarettes. Now, what do I mean by some states already used bits and pieces of that? Well, for some states, like prominently that most people can think of, California, they don't care for ARs or AR pistols and the like, so they have special things for if you want one part of it or another. Like if you want to have a detachable magazine where you can drop a magazine that is greater than, that's not a magazine, I can't see in this thing. If you want to drop a magazine that is greater than a 10 round magazine or something like that, you have to have something that's called a fin. Basically, this doesn't allow you to get a grip, and so you have to basically hold it like so. Or you get the belt on kind where you have to pop open the AR to be able to drop the mag. Yeah, there it was. Been a bit sticky since I spray painted this one. There we go. You got to do this to drop the mag, and so on and so forth. So California doesn't have a whole lot of high capacity magazines, and they don't care to. So they just outright banned them. Now, adding that a broader scope to that and get rid of all firearms, great. That's good. Not a single law-abiding citizen has a everyday carry or home defense weapon tool of their choice to defend themselves if something was to go awry. And the idea is that there's going to be no more shootings. But the problem is criminals. Okay, criminals get a hold of firearms some kind of way because in this scenario, police and military still have firearms. Now those firearms for police, military, and basically anybody else, if there's any other veterans or any officers, things do tend to come up missing. Either misplaced or outright discreetly sold off to somebody for whatever purposes because somebody wants a little extra cash. Alright, criminals still have guns, they're still committing gun violence. We have to get rid of all the guns in the country. Great, okay. Nobody has firearms, the police no longer have firearms, the military no longer has firearms because, again, they're all leaks to get firearms to bad people that are going to do bad things with them. So here, at this point, gun control is working. There are no small crimes being committed with firearms, no muggings, no random shootings, no mass shootings, because firearms are gone. They're not in the country anymore. But the bigger criminal organizations are still doing some gun violence because they have enough money to buy firearms from outside the country and bring them in. Just like the Fast and Furious scandal back in the early 20 teens, firearms left our country, the U.S., into Mexico, and they got smuggled back into America without anybody noticing. They were specially marked firearms, serial numbers or something, were all marked to where They should have been flagged coming across the border, but they weren't, so it made a scandal. Either way, point is, richer people who like committing crimes are still going to get firearms one way or another from outside the country. Okay, so we got to get rid of firearms across the world. But slam fire, how are we going to get guns out of the rest of the world if we ain't got guns to go take them away from the other countries? That's a great question. I feel like at this point the only firearms that are available in the world are the ones that are built into things, not like mounted on machine guns, like the 50 cal machine guns or the M240 Bravos, the guns on tanks, and things that are built in to be structurally part of a vehicle in some kind of way, like battleship guns or battleship main batteries and missiles. That's going to be what's left. I don't know how well it's going to work, but in Magic Land, it all works out. Guns are free from the world. And that's also to be said for things like black powder firearms, or even historical pieces like this oh god, what is the model number for it? Is it M1851 Nagant? It's the revolver that the cylinder slides forward when firing to flush up with the barrel. Neat and all, but it's a historical piece. It's still a gun. They gotta go. Anything that can shoot a projectile that is not built into a piece of equipment, gone. But guns are gone across the world at this point. There is no more gun violence because there can't be gun violence without the guns. It's great, but there's still violent crime happening because there's still people going around like, hey, give me your wallet. I want it. Because you don't need guns to commit violent crimes. Ivana was minding her own business on that train, or in the train car, and she just got stabbed out of nowhere. She's gone. It's a terrible tragedy. But just because guns are gone doesn't mean the crime goes away. So in this world, we've gotten rid of gun violence, but now we still have just regular violence, I guess. The violence without the guns, I guess. Makes sense. But now we got police running around going, oh, stop, you violated the law. I didn't discover non-existent. But let's get on to the next type of gun control, and that's going to be what we have more now, more or less. So what we have now is a system where, depending on where you are and how much money you've paid and time you spent in a class, you can conceal carry a firearm with you wherever you want to go. I typically carry a 1911 with me most of the time, appendix carry, because it's what I prefer and what I'm comfortable with. But we have stipulations. Like here in the state of Louisiana, we can't, if there's a place that has a sign that says no firearms or weapons allowed, legally I'm not allowed to walk in there with a firearm or pocket knife, collapsible baton, monkey's fist, whatever. Anything that can be classified as a weapon, I'm not allowed to bring in with me. But that's also paired with nobody checking for weapons at the door. Makes no sense. It upsets me greatly. A while back, we went and saw a movie at my local theater here in Slidell, and you know what theater it is. And I thought that there was a fake cop car in front of the building. Turns out that it's still a active police car. It's just not the best well maintained, and it's outdated by at least 10 years or so. Either way, I thought it was fake, and I was upset about it. But either way, the officer wasn't there in the vehicle or anywhere visible to help deter any crime. But also nobody checks at the door if anybody's carrying anything. It feels like a lapse in security. If you're making sure I can't be armed, why is there nobody making sure nobody else can be armed? Because again, how our system works is the honor system. you agree to follow the laws, everything should be fine. But not everybody's going to follow the rules and do what they want. It's already illegal to do drugs and murder, but still people do drugs and murder. Bit off topic, I know, but that's more or less what we have nowadays. Certain places doesn't allow for high capacity magazines or AKs, whatever it is that whatever area you're in doesn't like, they can say you don't get, which is fine. I can understand. And background checks. Background checks are a thing, but they are not perfect, which a lot of people gripe about. A lot of people can have a bad day and make poor decisions, but they got to come back from that. On the other hand, there are people that know they're doing wrong, but they haven't gotten caught, so they can just buy as many firearms as they want. It's not a perfect system. It doesn't work, but that's what we got, and I feel like it's okay enough. Yeah, I feel like I lost the point. I need to start writing scripts. The last type of gun control I will talk about is none at all. No gun control whatsoever. Everybody's carrying whatever, wherever, however. And the way that would work in stopping gun violence is that if everybody's packing, or if you think everybody's packing, somebody who wants to commit violence might think twice. So instead of just going into the school to shoot up a bunch of children under the age of 10, or going into the movies or the hospital to annihilate a whole wing or theater, if everybody's packing, they're going to think twice about how they're going to get taken out before they can do anything about it. But if you stayed this long into the video and listened to me rambling, you might notice that each and every one of these scenarios, types of gun control, or levels of gun control, you might want to call it, none of them really stop the violence. Because in the first one, where guns don't exist in the world, there's still going to be people that know that'll figure out how to make guns. There's people that'll use knives. There's people that'll use bombs to commit whatever violence that they want to commit against different people. Because weapons are very much an evolutionary thing. Since the first animal decided, hey, I don't want to eat grass anymore, I want to eat John, there's been a arms race, so to speak. So when humans came about, or our human ancestors came about, you might look, they've always been like, hey, that thing's different. It wants to hurt me for food, territory, whatever. I need a way to defend myself. I'm gonna pick up that rock. And it just goes on. And the first story of a murder, it just starts with a rock. Cain and Abel. Cain gets jealous of Abel, picks up a rock. No guns required, just hatred and violence. And that is the core of what is wrong with anybody who commits violence in general, or gun violence. There is a deep-seated hate for whoever, whatever, based on anything. Currently, today's climate, it is based off of political views, religion, skin tone, absolutely ridiculous concepts. It doesn't matter. You might see me out in public and just be like, that guy is a different color than me. I don't like it. Let's get rid of him. Other people might be like, oh, that guy, he said God bless me for helping him out Or he said he'll pray for me because I told him something that is troubling me lately. Genocide. This goes, it's just ridiculous. The hatred is the core of what is wrong.